As you can see, our numbers are growing. We are far more people today than we were during our first 2 protests.
Animal agriculture contributes more to climate change than the entire transportation industry.
If she wants to be a vegan, she can be. It's her choice, not mine.
Well, you're a vegan. They look after people like you.
You know, watching the new Tim Sheep, I'm ready to go vegan, and I'm not even sure what that means.
Recent findings show meat consumption has a much higher correlation with diabetes than sugar.
The data on vegan and vegetarian diets is looking really good.
It was a sobering day for meat lovers.
Then there's a convergence of forces that finally make this the right idea at the right time.
Well, these are real animals with real feelings and real family groups you are destroying.
James Aspey took a vow of silence for 365 days to promote compassion to animals.
This vegan lifestyle is sort of the solution to so many of the issues that are going on in the world.
In 2015, mainstream media started to bring attention to the growing health, environmental and ethical awareness around the globe. However, it's done this in a very confusing and non-linear way. But what this film is going to suggest is that a clearer trend has been set in the last 12 months from a more grassroots level, with a narrative that is more coherent compared to the one provided by mainstream media. And to understand exactly how this is happening, you have to look at the events of 2015. Early 2015 centred around Gary Yourofsky, an American animal rights activist. He has been criticised and even banned from entering Britain and Canada as a result of his activism, yet hailed by many as a hero of our time. Thought to be responsible for the explosion of veganism in Israel, where 8% of the population are now vegan. In early 2015, Yourofsky stopped giving public lectures and started his social media activism, and his talks online have already had over 3 million views. And in January, he was promoted by the famed musician Brian May.
I'm contributing to his current drive. He's been a great inspiration to me. Ladies and gentlemen, Gary Yourofsky.
2015 is going to be a fantastic year of activism. I am so excited.
People like Gary Yourofsky inspired a huge surge of vegan advocacy online. Just take the vegan hashtag on Instagram, for example, which has been used over 19 million times. At the start of the year, it had been used 10 million times, showing the remarkable increase in 2015 alone. Huge YouTube channels have started to promote veganism in 2015, including Fun for Louie, Humoros Fitness, Joey Graceffa, Kalel, Luke is Not Sexy, Ben Brown, Aspen Ovard, Lohanthony, Kiera Elisha, Secular Talk, Naomi Smart, Jack's Gap, Reality Changers, Loie Lane and Sigur Rós. Jenna Marbles, who has one of the largest YouTube followings, has spoken of the importance of veganism. Other big channels that exclusively promote the lifestyle continue to grow in popularity. Just take Freely the Banana Girl, for example, whose subscriber base and views have nearly doubled in the last 12 months. Vegan Gains, who only set up his channel a little over a year ago, has already started to change the face of the bodybuilding world online. Even channels like Blogilates, the Tiger Fitness and the Hodge Twins, who are not vegan and thought to be against the lifestyle, are now talking about it.
I can eat it, but I just can't kill it. Yeah, see, vegans, they got a point there.
Vegan bodybuilders. Yes, it can exist. Yes, you can be a good bodybuilder.
As all of these influential social media profiles have changed, so have consumer preferences. For example, in the US, over 400 million fewer animals were killed for food last year compared to 2007. Likewise, in Canada, meat consumption has reduced, led by a 31% drop in pork and a 19% reduction in beef. Consumers are taking to the new non-dairy milks, with these alternatives now accounting for 20% of the overall market.
You know, the fact of the matter is that the plant-based category in China is big and it's growing quite quickly.
Dairy milk prices have plummeted. For example, in the UK, milk prices were lower than water, resulting in farmers protesting by doing the ice bucket challenge of milk. Milk sales are also going down in other parts of the world.
But Mr. Gallagher, you say you don't think so, that China is giving up on New Zealand milk products, but we're now seeing a slump in sales from New Zealand to China.
Food corporations around the world have been quick to adapt to the new preferences. and there have been a number of announcements in 2015. Ben & Jerry's have said they'll be releasing their first vegan ice cream in 2016. Starbucks are currently testing new vegan products. Pret a Manger are considering opening a vegetarian shop chain. The company Corn now make vegan products. New dairy-free yogurts have come out. 7-Eleven have switched to egg-free mayo in all US stores. Trader Joe's have added new vegan products to their store. Smoothie giant Jamba Juice have introduced 3 new vegan items to their menu. And Taco Bell's new menu now includes 26 vegan options. As the UN have made it clear in recent years that a plant-based diet is going to be key to reducing global warming, it is no surprise that this message has been amplified in 2015.
The billions of farm animals that are being raised for consumption, which is, for one, causing huge areas of forest to be destroyed to grow grain to feed them, and for two, they are producing a very large percentage of the methane that is an even more potent greenhouse gas than CO2.
Right. We could save so much in terms of resources, water, for example. Half of the water used in this country is used to raise animals for food.
The award-winning documentary Cowspiracy, which explores the link between animal agriculture and environmental destruction, has finally been brought to Netflix, with Leonardo DiCaprio named as executive producer. Unilad, who have 17 million viewers on Facebook, also released a video called The Dangers of Industrialized Animal Agriculture. As a result, there have been many up-and-coming eco-friendly companies that specialize in meat replacement food products. Impossible Foods is one such company that last month received $108 million worth of investment. In fact, Google back in July tried to make an offer for the company.
Google reportedly made an offer to acquire startup Impossible Foods for between $200 to $300 million.
But Patrick Brown, CEO of the company, turned down that offer and has recently been explaining his motivations behind setting up the company.
Our challenge was to make a product that would appeal to the hardcore meat lover. We wanted to have a product that would deliver all the pleasures that people get from eating meat without any of the baggage, no cholesterol, antibiotics, hormones, E. coli.
They are already testing the products in undercover food trucks and plan to release the first items in 2016. Other similar companies that have received funding this year include Modern Meadow, Beyond Meat, Follow Your Heart, and Hampton Creek.
We started the company to say, if you could start over in food, what the hell would that look like? And we think if you started over in food, the thing that's a little bit better for the body, that's a little bit better for the environment, would taste better and would be less expensive.
We just launched 36 new products this month. We'll be launching a lot more next year.
This food startup revolution has coincided with a trend emerging within healthcare.
It is fascinating to see and exciting that there are so many nutritionally minded and even plant-based physicians. I mean, that segment of the medical industry seems to be growing rather quickly.
Hundreds of physicians around the world now recommend a whole foods, plant-based diet after looking into the science.
The more you move towards a whole foods plant-based diet, and the more you exercise, and the more you meditate, and the more love and support you have, the better you feel.
14 of the 15 leading causes of death have now been scientifically linked to eating animal products. And what's more, plant-based eaters have the lowest risk of developing all of those leading causes of death.
Those who tend to not have diabetes despite high carb intake are vegans.
The simple fact that a plant-based diet could just change your life.
This isn't just an option. I mean, this is proven science that is powerful. In fact, I find it more powerful than any pill that I have.
Another physician who recommends this way of eating is Dr. Michael Greger.
In 2015, Dr. Kim Williams became president of the American College of Cardiology. He was asked why he follows his own advice to eat a plant-based diet. I don't mind dying, Dr. Williams replied. I just don't want it to be my fault.
Greger is currently the Director of Public Health at the Humane Society of the United States. He runs the popular Nutrition Facts website, which provides free updates on the latest in nutrition research and recommends against eating animal products. Greger has also released a new book this year titled How Not to Die, and in the city Greger is from, a new vegan medical centre is opening in November, which will address health issues through plant-based nutrition. Other centres and healthcare providers that now tout the benefits of plant-based diets for health include, but are not limited to, Kaiser Permanente, the Physicians Committee, and Wellness Forum Health. In addition, a plant-based meal delivery service called Forks Fresh Meals has also come out this year, as well as the website plantbaseddoctors.org, which is a directory for plant-based doctors around the world. And a new documentary has also come out called Plant Pure Nation, which explores why we haven't heard about the health benefits of plant-based nutrition until now.
So this film is for everybody?
It's for everybody.
Okay.
It's for everybody. So, we're addressing the political question, but we're also showing that this is an idea that has the potential to truly transform the world.
We could save 70% on healthcare costs if we shifted to a whole foods, plant-based diet in this country.
When people have awareness of this health concept and they understand why they haven't heard this before, that awareness can then become the basis for a movement.
In 2015, many professional athletes have switched to a vegan diet. From slim athletes like professional golfers and football stars to much heavier athletes. In addition, many long-term vegan athletes have been thriving and setting new records.
Preparation, how far out have you had to work for this?
Well, I've been dieting since I became a vegan 8 months ago, and it has been a fantastic journey.
Also, ultra-marathoner and vegan athlete Scott Jurek has set a new running record.
His latest quest was the Appalachian Trail, more than 2,000 miles through 14 states from Georgia to Maine. It takes most hikers who manage to complete the trek 5 to 7 months. Jurek did it in 46 days, 8 hours and 7 minutes, 3 hours faster than the previous records.
In the soccer world this year, Forest Green Rovers were the first club to go vegan.
Chairman Dale Vince has introduced an all-vegan menu that can be enjoyed on the terrace or at a table.
Our fans buy into it as well. People come up to me and they say things like, I've gone vegetarian, it's changed my life.
It may be a while before meat is completely taken away from football, but the report and success of Forest Green certainly gives food for thought.
There have been a huge number of animal rights protests this year. 2 people, namely Jane Velez-Mitchell and Donnie Moss, have been at the forefront of many of the campaigns, reporting them to the world via social media.
We produce original animal rights news, videos, and print stories not covered by the mainstream press.
There is a mainstream media news blackout on animal rights. So we are doing an end run around mainstream media and getting directly to the people.
And there were a huge number of protests around the world.
I was asked to speak here tonight, and I agree, because these animals cannot speak for themselves.
We're going to go to their board members, and we're going to keep coming back over and over until they see the light, show some compassion.
Yeah.
Shame on you for supporting the fur industry.
Why are we so angry? Because of the cruelty, the greed, and the exploitation.
We are allowed to be here, everybody. Do not let them intimidate you.
One story, which was a personal protest, was covered by mainstream media.
And now James is speaking for the first time this morning on Sunrise. What a pleasure to have you here, James.
Can we have a drum roll? What your first words are going to be?
Oh,
okay. All right.
Why did you do this?
Okay, the reason I took the vow of silence was to raise awareness for the voiceless victims of this planet.
The animals.
The animals. We all say we love animals and we all are against animal cruelty, but we pay people to mutilate, torture and slaughter animals. And it's not for any necessity, it's not because we need to for our health, it's just because we like the way they taste. You know? So I went voiceless because they're voiceless. I thought. But then I realised they're not actually voiceless. You know, they cry in pain, they scream in terror, and when they do that, they're using their voice to tell us they're suffering. The problem is we're not listening because they have wings instead of arms. You know, they have fur, they have scales, they're different species, so we don't take their suffering seriously.
Many celebrities this year also spoke out. For example, in August, Morrissey sat down with Larry King in his first in-person interview in nearly 10 years.
I became vegetarian first when I was very young, when I just caught sight of a program on the television showing slaughter, and I'd never seen it before, the abattoir, the slaughterhouse. And I was frozen for 5 years. I couldn't believe that in our society a place like this could exist.
I hear things on Twitter like, listen, I don't agree with bullfighting, but, you know, the guy doesn't deserve to die. Well, what? It was defending. What was it meant to do? It's got horns. It tried to stop a sadist torturing it to death. That's all it was trying to do.
Before, I used to think it was a bit weird. I used to think it was a bit weak. Like, oh, vegetarian, vegan, a bit weak and stuff. So, yeah, I can speak from both sides, and I want people to realise that it's normal. I want everybody to realise that it's just so normal. It's the normal thing to do.
I like not eating meat.
Vegan. I gotta go vegan. I gotta go vegan. Hang on, is this a new Stevie Wonder classic? Go vegan. About to go vegan. Go vegan. Go vegan. About to go vegan. Go vegan. Go vegan. About to go vegan.
Celebrities Harry Styles and ex-Jackass star Steve-O performed bold public stunts against SeaWorld in 2015, leading to the company's profits plummeting. Pamela Anderson set up a new vegan cooking show called Essential Vegan, as well as a new vegan fashion line. The famous tattoo artist Kat Von D launched a new vegan makeup brand. Famed film director James Cameron and his wife set up the first vegan school. The Daily Show host Jon Stewart and his wife Tracy announced they were setting up an animal sanctuary. A number of other celebrities revealed they'd become vegan, including Miley Cyrus, movie star Liam Hemsworth, and Bollywood's biggest star Amir Khan. But there were some odd events in 2015. Beyoncé launched a vegan meal delivery service and said it was key to her lifestyle, but then said she regularly eats meat. Ellen DeGeneres appeared to be a committed vegan, but then launched a leather footwear line. Asina O'Neil said she was going to promote veganism over the internet, but then deleted a huge social media accounts. Jordan Younger tried to discredit veganism, but then it became apparent her bad experience with the diet was a result of chronic undereating. The press scrutinised the Yulin Dog Eating Festival and the death of Cecil the lion, but turned a blind eye to the large-scale factory farming taking place across the globe. But the epicentre of this non-linear 2015 was the American Egg Board scandal. In September, it transpired that the American Egg Board and the USDA took part in a concerted effort to destroy vegan company Hampton Creek. At the dark heart of this story was leaked emails obtained under the Freedom of Information Act, which revealed the USDA acted criminally and are consequently being investigated by the US government. At the same time in the UK, vegan politician Kerry McCarthy received criticism and ridicule for suggesting that meat eaters be treated like smokers. What none of the critics realised was that the UN the same month released a report clearly confirming that the most commonly consumed animal products, such as bacon and sausages, are ranked as level 1 carcinogens like tobacco.
This morning, a major new report from the World Health Organization says eating processed meat poses the same cancer risk as smoking. The report puts processed meats such as bacon and hot dogs at the highest risk rating.
Although there have been some small political parties making progress in 2015, like the Humane Party in the US and the Animal Alliance Party in Canada, it is clear that change is unlikely to come from the political sphere. But there is a large group of individuals campaigning beneath, growing in numbers and diversity. Due to the great work by activists and campaigning organisations like Viva, Mercy for Animals and Animal Aid, the true horror of farmed animals' lives is plain to see. People are getting the compassionate message out using platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
We are taking control, and we are using social media.
And as young people predominantly get their news from these social media platforms now, a new generation is being created in the biggest health, environmental, and ethical social justice movement ever to have existed. New books have come out, such as The Plant-Powered Way, Do Unto Animals, and Proteinaholic. Costa Rica have banned zoos. Animal sacrifice is no longer allowed at Nepal's Gandamai festival. The first vegan charity shop has just opened in the UK. Veg Visits, the Airbnb for vegans, has also come out. Even car manufacturer Tesla Motors are considering making one of their cars vegan. Long Beach have approved Meatless Monday this year too, and the French have finally caught up, adding vegan to their dictionary. The 2015 Veganuary campaign was 4 times more popular than in 2014. Interest in the vegan lifestyle is now overtaking vegetarian in the UK. 5% of the US are now vegetarian or vegan. Google's latest figures show a 3-fold increase in vegan searches from 2007 to 2014, and the companies say they're adding plant-based options to the Worldwide Food Programme. Doctors are increasingly using the plant-based diet to reverse the most common chronic diseases and are pioneering new alternative research methods for drug testing that do not use animal models. Vegan fast food brands are also doing well. Vegan eggs are now a real thing and are being sold in the US. Burger King said this year they're considering launching more meatless dishes. McDonald's, for the first time in decades, shut down more stores than they've opened this year, and shareholders revealed the food company could be in its final days. This was compounded by the fact former CEO for McDonald's, Don Thompson, recently defected to vegan startup Beyond Meat. Veganism is no longer viewed as a fringe lifestyle choice. It is a moral framework that is searing into the consciousness of huge numbers of people, with its importance being recognised around the world for a number of different reasons. The question now is, what will 2016 bring?